Welcome to this short presentation about the new Blackrock target date funds available in your BYU 401k. I call this presentation Good, Better, and Best. Hi, my name is Martin Hurlbert. I'm a partner in TM Wealth Management, a registered investment advisory firm right here in Utah County. I'm going to give you a 90-second summary, and if that's all you need, fantastic. If you want more, well then just keep on listening. BYU has given you a deadline of June 24th, kind of. And here's what I mean by that. If you take no action on June 24th, your entire 401k balance will be transferred to a single Blackrock target date fund based upon your age. Now I say kind of because if you do nothing and that happens, and then later on you want to change back to your current fund choices, you can do that. If you opt out of BlackRock right now and you want to use them later, you can also do that. So you're not being locked into anything on June 24th. That's why it's kind of a deadline. Now, I think these BlackRock funds can be a good choice if you have 10 years or more before you retire and you just don't want to think about it. A better option is to manage the funds yourself if you follow a few simple guidelines, and I'll tell you what they are after this short summary. And finally, I believe the best option is something available only to people 59 and a half, and that is to move your balance to a personal IRA and then have a third-party independent fiduciary help you manage that account. So there you have it, good, better, and best. Now, right now, if you're thinking, Martin, I just want to talk to a live person. I want someone to help me figure this out. I understand where you're coming from. There's my contact information. You are welcome to call me and I'll do my best to answer your questions. Let's now go a little more in depth. First of all, why is this happening? Well, BYU did a big study and they found that too many mistakes were being made by 401k plan participants. Young people were in guaranteed accounts. People near retirement were in aggressive growth mutual funds. And so they introduced these BlackRock target date funds to try and reduce costly mistakes. What they also found is that most people just don't want to deal with this. Trying to understand, figure out, and manage their 401k mutual funds is just stressful and overwhelming. In fact, that's exactly how Professor Dave from biology felt. Now, that's not his real name. We first met a couple years ago. He was in his early 60s with over $1 million in his 401k. He was a little bit embarrassed to admit to me that he had not made a single change in over 15 years. That's not a good way to manage your 401k. Like I said earlier, the target date funds could be a good choice if you get 10 years or more and you just don't want to deal with it. But if you have less than 10 years, here's why I'm not a big fan of them. I call this the coronavirus correction. From late February until late March of this year, we all just lived through it and made headlines. The stock market was down about 25%. That's the purple line right there. The most conservative BlackRock target date fund is designed for people who are currently retired or about to retire. And you can see it right there in the pink line. It was down 15%. If you are currently retired or about to retire, trust me, you do not want your 401k balance to go down by 15%. That ain't good. So the better option is to manage the funds yourself. This is from page 8 of the 24-page plan description from BYU. If you want a copy of it, it's on my website and you can download it. It lists 5 different models. Up until now, BYU has managed those models for you if you ask them to, but they're no longer going to do that. It's not that difficult, though, to do yourself. You look at these models, you pick the one that's right for you, then you log into the BYU 401k online, and you simply put the different percentages in the corresponding funds. Takes you about 2 or 3 minutes. Now, 2 things I think to make this more effective when you manage your funds. One is to rebalance annually. What rebalance means is you sell a little bit of the ones that do well and you put that money in the ones that do not so well. So you're consistently selling high and then buying low. Another key thing is when you rebalance, make sure you put in your calendar a reminder a year away from now. Otherwise, you'll forget to do it and year after year will go by with no adjustments being made. Now, I think the best option is something that's only available to people who are 59 and a half or more. Now, I'm going to introduce this idea to you with a question. Which of these two advisors would you rather have manage your money? Advisor A or Advisor B? Advisor A knows your age. And based upon your age and nothing else, they now will design and manage a portfolio on your behalf. Two more things about Advisor A. They live and work in New York City. I've got nothing against New York City. I think it's a wonderful place. But that advisor will never meet with you face to face. Advisor A also works for Blackrock, which means they will only recommend and use funds owned and managed by BlackRock and nothing else. Let's now compare to Advisor B. Advisor B knows your age. Advisor B also knows when you plan to retire. And not just that, they know what kind of income you'll need. Maybe you're going to work part-time as a consultant and therefore need less income in the early years of retirement. Or the opposite, you might travel the world while your health is still good and spend more money than usual in the first few years. Advisor B will meet with you face to face. Advisor B takes into account your other retirement plans, maybe 457s or 403bs. They look at your Social Security, your pension, your savings, your debt. They look at the big picture. Advisor B also knows your family situation. Maybe your spouse will keep working after you retire, or maybe not. You might have a special needs child who will need financial assistance for decades to come. All of these things are factors that ought to be considered when it comes to managing your portfolio. Finally, Investor B is an independent third-party fiduciary. Independent third party means they work for you, not a single investment company. And fiduciary means they have to do what's in your best interest. Now, obviously, Advisor B will do a better job, but how do you make that happen? This is from page 12 of your 24-page plan document, and it describes when you're eligible to roll your money to a personal IRA. Now, most people know that when you stop working at BYU or you retire, you can roll your money over. But very few people know that if you're 59 and a half years old, you can also roll the money over. And that's exactly what Professor Dave did a couple years back. He says, Martin, I don't want to deal with this. I'm too busy. And he rolled the money to an IRA, which I now manage. You see, I am an independent third-party fiduciary. I'd love the chance to talk to you and show you how I can help you out, but if not with me, with someone else. This is too important to make a mistake, especially when you are approaching retirement. I hope you found this video helpful. I hope it's reduced some stress for you. If you have any questions at all, there's my contact information. I will give any BYU employee 1 hour of my time at no charge to answer any financial questions you may have. Please share this video with other people at BYU. Thank you for listening.